Love Thrills, written and published by Books Reader. Introduction. Have you ever noticed how some people effortlessly attract deep devotion in their relationships, while others constantly struggle just to keep someone interested? The secret isn't beauty, luck, or even compatibility. It's about understanding the psychology of desire. Most advice teaches you to give more, try harder, and chase love, but the truth? That approach often drives people away. The real magic lies in reversing the dynamic. Love isn't something you convince someone to feel, it's something you inspire through presence, energy, and emotional contrast. This book reveals the exact principles that flip the script, where your partner begins to chase your presence, cherish your energy, and commit without hesitation. These are the same methods that have reignited passion in thousands of relationships, often in just days. Love isn't about begging to be wanted. It's about becoming so magnetic that they can't help but desire you. Lesson 1. The power of strategic absence. One of the biggest mistakes people make in love is being too available. When you're always around, always saying yes, and constantly accessible, something strange happens. Your value starts to feel ordinary. Think about your favorite dessert. You crave it when it's a treat, not when it's served every single day. Love works the same way. When your presence is guaranteed, it can start to feel expected, not cherished. Now, let's be clear, being less available isn't about playing games or creating distance to manipulate. It's about honoring your own life and letting your independence elevate your desirability. When you have your own passions, friendships, and pursuits, you become more dynamic, more intriguing. You return to your partner with stories, energy, and new light. That energy doesn't just draw them in, it pulls them closer. People often sabotage early relationships by becoming completely absorbed in them. They drop plans, answer every call, cancel on friends, and put their own lives on hold. It may feel like love, but it actually sends a message: I have nothing more important than you. And that, over time, makes your presence feel too easy, too certain. Setting gentle boundaries, on the other hand, sends a different signal: I value you, but I also value myself. That kind of confidence is intoxicating. If they call while you're working out or relaxing, it's okay to return the call later. If they want to meet but you already have plans, keep your commitment. Show, don't tell, that your time matters. This doesn't mean being cold or unavailable. It means being present when you're together, and unapologetically whole when you're not. It keeps the connection fresh, intentional, and exciting. And in a world of constant connection, this kind of balance is rare. With phones buzzing 24/7, people expect instant replies. But when you're not always online, your attention becomes more valuable. It's no longer something they assume, it's something they appreciate. If your partner tests these boundaries, asking for more and more of your time, stay grounded. You're not being distant, you're being balanced. And balance makes for a better partner, not just for you, but for them, too. When your time isn't limitless, the time you do share becomes sacred. They listen more, engage more, and start showing up with presence. Why? Because what's not always available becomes more meaningful. That's how attraction works. We're wired to desire what's rare, not what's routine. Start with small shifts, revive a hobby, schedule solo time, or reconnect with something that lights you up. The more alive you feel in your own world, the more magnetic you become in theirs. Lesson 2. The thrill of the hunt. There's a reason the early stages of love feel electric. It's the chase. The mystery. The sense that we're slowly unlocking someone's world, and in doing so, we're earning something real. Now here's the truth: what we earn, we value. What comes too easily, we don't. This is human nature. The same way we treasure hard-won achievements, we treasure love that asks us to grow, stretch, and show up fully. The thrill of the hunt isn't about playing hard to get, it's about being worth the effort. It's about creating natural challenges through your depth, your standards, and your independence. Think of a toy that just sits still, it quickly gets ignored. But move it slightly, add a bit of unpredictability, and suddenly, even a cat becomes obsessed. People. We're wired the same way. We're captivated by what requires our attention, what sparks curiosity and keeps unfolding over time. So don't give everything away at once. Don't become so available, so accommodating, that there's no more mystery left. Be open, be kind, but let there be layers to discover. Keep growing. Keep evolving. Let your life be full and vibrant. That way, even years into the relationship, there's still something new for your partner to experience in you. The goal isn't to make love difficult, it's to make it valuable. Because when someone works for your love, they cherish it. When they pursue your heart, they protect it. And when they know they've earned your time and energy, they never stop showing up for it. There's something magical about the early stages of a connection, the mystery, the anticipation, the delicious unknown of discovery. That spark doesn't have to fade over time. In fact, you can reignite it intentionally by creating space that invites desire and curiosity. This doesn't mean pulling away or being cold. It means nurturing your independence, having your own vibrant world outside of your relationship. Don't feel the need to reply instantly to every message or pause your life when your partner calls. Instead, invest in your own passions, friendships, and pursuits. Why? Because the most attractive people are those who have a rich life of their own. When you're actively engaged in the things that light you up, you become magnetic. You're no longer just a partner, you're a whole person. And wholeness is irresistible. Let your partner discover you gradually. Let there be layers, subtle things they learn about you over time. Maybe they stumble upon your half-finished painting, or find a curious film title on your watch list that sparks a conversation. These little discoveries keep the connection fresh. They create that sense of, wow, I didn't know that about you, again and again. Even physical space can spark emotional closeness. Time apart, whether it's pursuing hobbies, spending a weekend with friends, or even taking solo trips, builds healthy anticipation. It makes your reunions feel special, not routine. Here's the truth, the thrill of the hunt isn't about being distant, it's about being worth the pursuit. Keep growing. Keep learning. Keep evolving. Let your partner keep up with you, not because you're trying to be elusive, but because you're genuinely committed to becoming the best version of yourself. You don't need to report every detail of your day. Share enough to stay emotionally connected, but leave room for questions, curiosity, and intrigue. That mystery keeps the relationship dynamic. It prevents things from going stale. This isn't about playing games, it's about living fully and bringing that energy into the relationship. When you live with intention, you become the kind of person your partner wants to explore endlessly. A healthy, engaging relationship is one where both partners feel inspired by each other's growth, not stuck watching from the sidelines. You want them to feel like they're growing with you, constantly discovering new sides of who you are. By understanding this principle, the thrill of the hunt, you shift the dynamic. You stop chasing love and start inspiring pursuit. You create a bond where passion doesn't fade, it deepens. Lesson 3. You are the high-value prize. The most powerful shift you can make in love. Realizing that you are the prize. Not because you're better than anyone, but because you recognize your inherent worth. Too many people enter relationships trying to prove themselves, hoping to earn love or hold someone's attention. But when your mindset is built around earning approval, you give your power away. Suddenly, the other person becomes the decider of your value, and that's a dangerous place to stand. Your value doesn't come from who stays or who validates you. It comes from within. It's rooted in your values, your energy, your authenticity. Take stock of the things that make you who you are, not just your achievements, but your kindness, your insight, your ability to listen, your humor, your resilience. These are things that no one can take from you. When you recognize your worth, you naturally start to set higher standards for how you're treated. You don't chase validation. You don't tolerate disrespect. You don't compromise what matters to you just to keep someone around. You draw boundaries, not as a defense mechanism, but as a declaration of self-respect. You're not afraid to say no, to walk away from what drains you, or to protect your energy. That kind of quiet confidence is what makes you truly magnetic. And here's the part most people misunderstand: being high value doesn't mean being perfect or invulnerable. It means being authentic. You can be real, open, and even messy, but you never abandon your self-worth in the process. Stop trying to give your way into being loved. While generosity is beautiful, overgiving without balance creates energetic imbalance. It teaches people to expect everything, and offer little in return. Healthy relationships are reciprocal. Learn to receive with grace. Let others show up for you. When both people contribute, love flows in both directions. Want to become more radiant and desirable? Develop yourself. Learn something new. Dive into hobbies that excite you. Chase goals that light you up, not to impress anyone, but because they make you feel alive. When you're genuinely passionate about your life, you become more attractive, naturally. You're not chasing attention. You are attention. Your energy speaks before you do. Being the prize means embodying your worth, not with arrogance, but with unshakable self-respect. You're not out to prove anything. You don't need to persuade someone to see your value. The right person will recognize it without you lifting a finger. And if someone doesn't, that's not your person. The way you carry yourself sets the tone for how others treat you. When you walk with calm certainty, people instinctively rise to meet your energy. They respect your time, value your presence, and feel lucky to be in your orbit, not because you demand it, but because you own who you are. Don't dim your light to make others comfortable. Don't lower your standards to keep someone close. Your high value isn't about ego, it's about alignment. The right people won't be intimidated by your strength. They'll be inspired by it. You're not seeking validation. You're choosing alignment. That's the power of being the prize. You know what you bring to the table, and you have no fear of eating alone. Lesson 4, the candy store strategy. Being the best version of yourself means showing up fully, and expecting others to rise and meet you there. One powerful way to keep that energy alive in a relationship is by embracing what I call the candy store strategy. Think back to when you were a child walking into a candy store. The vibrant colors, endless options, and sense of anticipation were irresistible. That same emotional pull can exist in your romantic life, not by being deceptive or playing games, but by maintaining a sense of excitement, variety, and unfolding discovery. Human nature is wired to desire what feels just beyond reach. We're drawn to people who are multifaceted, those who bring intrigue, contrast, and constant growth. This doesn't mean changing who you are. It means revealing the many layers that already exist within you. Just like a candy shop displays its best treats, well lit, attractively arranged, begging to be explored, you, too, can present yourself in ways that spark curiosity and delight. Switch up your style now and then. Try new hobbies. Share bold opinions. Surprise them with stories they didn't expect. Be playful one moment, deep the next. Your partner should feel like they're always discovering something new about you, not because you're hiding, but because you're always evolving. The key here is staying actively engaged in your own life. Take up dance, read something thought-provoking, travel solo, try improv. When you bring these new experiences back into your relationship, you become a source of inspiration, like a candy store that's always stocked with something new and exciting. And just like seasonal treats at your favorite shop, create moments of anticipation. Plan surprise dates. Drop subtle hints about things to come. Leave handwritten notes with no explanation. These small acts build momentum and mystery, keeping emotional intimacy alive without slipping into routine. But remember, authenticity matters. Just as a candy store loses customers if it overpromises and underdelivers, you must be real. Avoid fake excitement or empty gestures. The goal is genuine engagement, not manipulation. Another core element of the strategy is mystery. Don't unload your entire life story in one sitting. Let your deeper dreams, quirks, and values unfold over time. Variety isn't about pretending to be someone you're not, it's about expressing the full spectrum of who you are. Maybe you're driven and ambitious, but also goofy and lighthearted. Maybe you're introverted with a surprising adventurous streak. These contrasts create depth, and depth creates lasting interest. Just as a candy store refreshes its shelves, you must stay current in your own growth. Stay informed, keep learning, stay open to new ideas. This gives you more to bring to conversations, experiences, and emotional connection. And here's a bonus secret: the best relationships are made up of two candy stores, two evolving people, each with their own worlds, passions, and inner landscapes. When both partners continue to explore life and share it with one another, the relationship remains vibrant and unpredictable, in the best way. To keep the spark alive, combine surprise with substance. Yes, be exciting, but also be dependable. Be the favorite candy that's always in stock and the new flavor that's worth lining up for. That balance of stability and stimulation is what creates an emotional bond that not only lasts, but deepens over time. Lesson 5. Dumb like a fox. In relationships, intelligence isn't always about being the cleverest voice in the room. Sometimes, the smartest strategy is knowing when not to reveal your hand. That's what I call dumb like a fox. This approach isn't about playing dumb or being inauthentic, it's about being strategic. Like a masterful poker player, you don't need to reveal everything at once. You observe. You assess. You understand the flow of the game before making your move. When you meet someone new, they're naturally curious, trying to understand who you are, what you respond to, and where your emotional edges lie. If you give away everything too quickly, your fears, your patterns, your triggers, you lose the edge of mystery and self-possession. By holding a bit back, you keep them curious, attentive, and invested. More importantly, you give yourself time to evaluate them. Before pouring your heart out, observe how they act. Are they emotionally intelligent? Are their words aligned with their behavior? Let time reveal who they are, before deciding how deeply to open your own emotional world. This strategy becomes even more powerful in emotionally charged moments. Let's say your partner says or does something that stings. Instead of reacting instantly, take a breath. Observe. Let their actions unfold. Are they self-aware enough to recognize their mistake? Will they take responsibility? Sometimes silence and space say more than confrontation. This isn't about withholding communication or playing cold. It's about being measured, choosing when and how to respond instead of reacting impulsively. That alone elevates your position in any dynamic. You remain composed, grounded, and in control of your emotional energy. Being dumb like a fox also helps you avoid unnecessary power struggles. When you don't take every emotional bait, you remain unshakable. You stop your partner from gaining leverage over your reactions. That doesn't make you distant, it makes you intentional. Timing, in this strategy, is everything. You're not being manipulative, you're being wise. You're choosing to observe instead of overexpose. You're letting your partner earn access to the deeper parts of you. And in doing so, you command more respect, more curiosity, and a more balanced emotional exchange. Know when to hold back, and when to show your hand. If your partner is attempting to make you jealous, the most effective response isn't anger or confrontation, it's calm indifference. Quietly make your own plans, live your life fully, and let them realize their tactics aren't having the desired effect. In time, they'll see their strategy is ineffective, and be forced to adjust. But make no mistake, being strategic is not the same as being manipulative. The goal is never to deceive. It's to protect your emotional well-being and maintain healthy boundaries. It's about choosing thoughtful responses over impulsive reactions. This calculated calm keeps you grounded and mysterious. When someone feels they've completely figured you out, they tend to stop trying. But when you occasionally reveal an unexpected insight, hidden talent, or clever twist in your perspective, you reignite their curiosity. You become someone worth discovering again and again. The dumb like a fox strategy requires patience and self-control. Sometimes you'll need to bite your tongue. Other times you'll hold back when everything in you wants to charge forward. But restraint is a form of power. The ability to pause and observe instead of reacting emotionally can transform your relationships. In fact, the moment your partner realizes that you are far more perceptive, thoughtful, and emotionally intelligent than they assumed, their respect for you deepens. It creates a powerful shift in the dynamic. You no longer operate from a place of emotional vulnerability, but from grounded strength. You don't need to react to every behavior. You don't need to correct every misstep. Sometimes silence speaks louder. Sometimes presence without commentary carries more authority. Be someone who watches more than they speak. Let your actions be intentional. When you practice this kind of discernment, you gain clarity. You start to see the patterns, and read the space between the lines. In a world of over-explaining and oversharing, there's magnetic power in being the one who doesn't always react. The one who sees more than they say. The one who can't be easily read. Sometimes, the most powerful move is the one you don't make. Lesson 6. Stop jumping through hoops. One of the most common, and costly, relationship mistakes is trying to earn love through performance. You bend over backward. You sacrifice your preferences, your time, your dignity, all in the hope that it will finally make you worthy of your partner's affection. This behavior doesn't create closeness. It creates an imbalance of power. One person becomes the pleaser. The other becomes the authority. And over time, this dynamic destroys respect. When you constantly jump through hoops, you're silently telling your partner, your approval matters more than my self-respect. And once someone sees you're willing to trade your values for their validation, they may start to take you for granted, even if they don't mean to. Why? Because human nature undervalues what comes too easily. It starts with subtle things. Canceling your plans to be available at their convenience. Pretending to like what they like. Silencing your opinions to avoid conflict. These are the invisible hoops many people jump through every day, without realizing how much of themselves they're shrinking to stay safe. Healthy relationships don't require that kind of sacrifice. There's a difference between compromise and compliance. Compromise involves two people adjusting together. Compliance is one person constantly bending. The moment you feel like you're betraying yourself to keep someone else happy, it's time to reevaluate the terms of that connection. Start by recognizing the hoops. Are you expected to justify every decision? Do you feel guilty when you say no? Does your partner expect you to change aspects of yourself to fit their preferences? If you're constantly accommodating unreasonable expectations, that's not love, that's control wrapped in affection. You don't have to respond with anger or defiance. Strength often comes in calm clarity. When your partner asks for access to your phone or demands you drop certain friends, you can say, I value privacy, and I also value trust. This doesn't feel like either. If they pressure you to change for their comfort, you can state simply, I'm not here to become someone else. I'm here to grow, with someone who respects me as I am. Yes, some people may pull away when you stop jumping through hoops. Let them. That distance is not a loss, it's revelation. It shows you exactly who was there for power, not partnership. The ones who stay. They'll be the ones who appreciate your strength, not your submission. Watch for the small hoops too, always being the first to text or apologize. Hiding your true feelings to avoid drama. Abandoning your own needs to accommodate theirs. These micro-compromises accumulate until your sense of self is buried under constant performance. The solution? Reclaim your voice. One step at a time. Start with something small, pick the movie, speak your opinion honestly, say no without guilt. Then watch closely. How your partner responds to your truth is the truest sign of the relationship's health. You deserve a connection where love isn't something you have to earn. Where you are valued, not managed. Where being authentic is not a risk, it's a requirement. Because real love isn't about proving yourself, it's about being seen and loved as you are. Lesson 7. The nagging trap. Nagging is like a slow-acting poison that gradually drains the life out of a relationship. It often starts with harmless reminders, take out the trash, don't forget to call your mother, but over time, it morphs into a repetitive cycle that breeds resentment, stifles connection, and erodes attraction. When you nag, you unintentionally shift from being a loving partner to someone who resembles a parent, supervisor, or manager. And no one wants to feel like they're dating their boss. While your intentions may come from a desire to feel heard or get things done, the outcome is often the opposite. Your partner begins to tune you out, avoid interaction, or become defensive. And the more you nag, the more they pull away, creating a negative loop. The real cause of nagging isn't the chore left undone. It's usually rooted in unmet emotional needs and unclear communication. Maybe you feel unappreciated, invisible, or overwhelmed, but instead of expressing that directly, it surfaces as repetitive criticism. Sadly, nagging doesn't address the root issue. It deepens the divide. To escape this trap, change how you communicate your needs. Choose calm, intentional moments to speak, not in the heat of frustration. Use I statements instead of blame. Say, I'm feeling overwhelmed with everything that needs to get done. I'd really appreciate your help, instead of, you never help around here. Then let go. Say it once. Then step back and allow your partner to respond in their own way. Even if they do things differently than you would, trust them enough to handle it. Respect breeds cooperation, not micromanagement. Praise progress. Celebrate the little things. When your partner does make an effort, even if it's imperfect, recognize it. Encouragement creates a far stronger motivation than criticism ever could. People naturally want to give more to those who make them feel good about themselves. And ask yourself, is this issue worth it? Not everything needs to be perfect. Some battles aren't worth fighting. Let go of the need for control in small matters and focus on building harmony over being right. Instead of saying, you never spend time with me, try, hey, want to go for a walk later or watch a movie together? Turn nagging into invitations for connection, and you'll see a dramatic shift in energy. Breaking the nagging habit takes awareness and practice. You may catch yourself mid-sentence, that's okay. What matters is redirecting the impulse toward clearer, kinder communication. Over time, you'll build a more cooperative dynamic where both partners feel respected and understood. Remember, your partner is an adult, not a child. You cannot force change. But you can inspire it, through trust, clarity, and emotional intelligence. When you stop nagging, something powerful happens. Your partner may become more attentive because they feel less judged, and more free. And in that space, the love you once shared has room to flourish again. Lesson 8. Inside your partner's mind. Understanding your partner's inner world is one of the most valuable skills you can develop in a relationship. We may not be mind readers, but with enough awareness, we can learn to interpret the clues that reveal what's really going on beneath the surface. People speak volumes without words. Body language, tone, pacing, and even silence can reveal emotional truths. Crossed arms might signal defensiveness. A genuine smile touches the eyes. Avoiding eye contact may point to discomfort or internal conflict. When you pay attention to these subtle cues, you become more attuned to your partner's emotional landscape, and better equipped to respond with empathy. Emotional triggers are often rooted in the past. Maybe your partner had a controlling parent, so requests about their schedule feel like an attack on their freedom. Maybe they experienced infidelity, and now feel hyper-aware of your interactions with others. These patterns aren't about you, they're echoes of unresolved wounds. Understanding their emotional triggers allows you to approach sensitive topics with care. Instead of judging their reaction, ask yourself, what experience could be shaping this response? Communication styles vary too. Some people need time to process their feelings before responding. Others shut down when overwhelmed. Learn how your partner handles stress, conflict, and vulnerability. When you understand how they communicate, you can stop taking their reactions personally, and instead, respond with patience. Their love language is also a map. Does your partner light up when you offer words of appreciation? Do they feel most connected when you do acts of service, spend quality time, or initiate physical touch? Knowing what speaks love to them, and what doesn't, makes your efforts more meaningful. When partners speak different love languages, they may miss each other's expressions of care. One person may be showing love through actions, while the other is waiting for words. Aligning your expressions of love with their emotional needs bridges that gap. Past experiences also influence current fears and behaviors. If your partner has experienced betrayal, abandonment, or conditional love in the past, they may carry emotional armor even in a safe, loving relationship. Your job is not to fix them, but to understand their lens and offer safety, consistency, and compassion. Understanding how your partner thinks, feels, and responds is one of the most powerful tools in building a deep and lasting relationship. While we may not be able to read minds, we can learn to observe patterns, decode body language, and recognize emotional triggers that reveal the truth beneath their words. Past experiences shape present behaviors. If your partner has had controlling partners in the past, they may fiercely value their independence. If they've been cheated on, they might be more sensitive to perceived secrecy or boundaries being crossed. These experiences create internal frameworks that influence how they interpret your actions, even when your intentions are harmless. Your partner's daily habits offer insights too. Are they a morning person who feels sharp and energized early in the day? That may be the best time to have important discussions. If they're more of a night owl, avoid bringing up emotional topics first thing in the morning. Aligning your communication with their natural rhythms increases the chance of being heard and understood. Trust is revealed in subtle, consistent behaviors. When your partner shares their phone password without being asked, introduces you to loved ones, or includes you in future plans, they're showing trust through action. These aren't just gestures, they're indicators of emotional safety and long-term investment. Learn to read between the lines. Observe how your partner reacts in different situations. What lights them up? What makes them retreat or go quiet? How do they respond under stress, or when they're deeply moved? These emotional cues form a map, a guide to what matters most to them. As you refine your ability to read their reactions, your emotional intelligence grows. And with it, your ability to connect on a much deeper level. Importantly, understanding your partner's mind is not about manipulation, it's about creating a space where both of you can feel seen, safe, and supported. When approached with compassion and genuine curiosity, this understanding becomes the glue that deepens intimacy. Think of your partner's mind as a unique, beautiful garden. The more you observe its seasons, rhythms, and sensitivities, the more you'll know how to nurture it. And when both partners make this effort, the relationship blooms with trust, empathy, and mutual growth. Lesson 9. Keep your pink slip. The idea of keeping your pink slip goes far beyond financial independence. It's about maintaining personal autonomy and emotional sovereignty within a relationship. It's a reminder, you are a complete, whole person. Being in love doesn't mean losing yourself. Too often, people merge their entire identity with their partners, abandoning their independence in the name of closeness. But a truly strong relationship consists of two grounded individuals who choose to walk together, not two halves trying to become whole. Financial independence is foundational. Having your own income, savings, and credit allows you to make decisions from a place of strength, not survival. This doesn't mean you can't share finances or build a life together. It means you choose to do so, rather than being forced to. Think of your relationship like two trees growing side by side. Each tree needs its own root system. If one depends too heavily on the other, both become vulnerable to storms. But when both trees stand strong, they can lean into each other without collapsing. Emotional independence is just as vital. Keep your friendships, pursue your interests, travel solo if you wish. Make time for yourself without guilt. The more fulfilled you are as an individual, the more you bring to the relationship. When you have your own rich inner world, you remain intriguing, vibrant, and self-assured. You bring new stories to the table. And that ongoing growth keeps the connection alive. Having an exit strategy isn't negative, it's wise. You don't wear a seatbelt because you expect to crash. You wear it just in case. Likewise, staying up to date in your career, maintaining a personal savings account, or protecting your credit score doesn't mean you're planning to leave. It means you're prepared for any outcome, and that preparation fosters confidence, not fear. When you know you can stand on your own, you're free to stay in the relationship out of love, not dependency. That kind of emotional clarity leads to healthier boundaries, less resentment, and more respect, both ways. Aim for healthy interdependence. This means you support each other while remaining whole individuals. You enhance each other's lives without trying to complete one another. Your partners, not saviors, not projects. Open conversations about boundaries, personal space, finances, and shared responsibilities are essential. Your partner shouldn't feel threatened by your independence, and if they do, that's a red flag. True love supports growth, not control. When you maintain your autonomy, something beautiful happens. Your partner values you more, knowing you choose them daily, not because you have to, but because you want to. The relationship remains dynamic and exciting, and you continue being the empowered, magnetic person your partner was drawn to in the first place. So keep your pink slip. Not out of fear, but as a symbol of strength, your strength. Because real love doesn't erase your identity, it celebrates it. Lesson 10, Rekindling the Mystery. Love is like a flame, it needs care, intention, and fresh air to keep burning brightly. Over time, the comfort of routine and daily familiarity can dim the initial spark of passion and excitement. But here's the good news, that magical feeling, the mystery, the thrill, the deep pull, isn't lost forever. It can be rekindled, reawakened, and even made stronger with the right kind of effort. Think back to the beginning. Everything felt new. Every conversation revealed something unexpected. You couldn't get enough of each other. There was anticipation, discovery, curiosity. That wasn't an accident, it was fueled by intentional presence, emotional openness, and the unknown. While we can't go back to the first date, we can recreate those feelings through newness, surprise, and intention. Start by breaking the routine. If you always send a good morning text at 7 a.m., skip it, and instead, send a playful or mysterious message midday. Leave a handwritten note tucked into their jacket. Plan a date night without revealing the destination. The smallest acts of unpredictability awaken curiosity and spark anticipation. Shared novelty creates emotional bonding. Try something neither of you has done before, a cooking class, a hike to an unfamiliar place, a dance lesson, a restaurant out of your usual zone. Novelty releases dopamine, the same neurochemical that makes us feel high on love during those early stages of connection. When you experience something new together, your partner's brain starts associating that same thrill with you. Reawaken intrigue with subtle changes. Switch up your look. Wear something bold or unexpected. Change your hairstyle. Try a new fragrance. Not because you need to impress, but because you want to express the many layers of who you are. Walk with purpose. Smile with a hint of mystery. Show that you're still evolving, growing, and full of surprises. You're not a static figure, you're a living, breathing story in motion. And your partner should feel lucky to keep discovering new chapters. Build anticipation. Tease the imagination. Send a cryptic message like, "I have plans for you tonight." Start a conversation and say, "I'll tell you the rest later." These small moments keep you in their thoughts and spark their imagination long after the moment has passed. Maintain some healthy privacy. You don't need to share every detail of your day. Keep a part of your life, your inner world, just for you, your hobbies, your solo time, your friendships. This not only nourishes you, it makes you more magnetic. There's always something new to learn, to ask about, to experience. Physical intimacy thrives on variety. Avoid falling into routine. Switch up the setting, the mood, the timing. Send a flirty message during the day to build tension. Change how you touch, where you touch, and when. Explore what you haven't yet explored. Mystery and excitement are natural aphrodisiacs. Remember, mystery isn't deception, it's devotion. It's the sacred art of preserving the spark. It's reminding your partner that even after all this time, there is more to discover, more to experience, and more to love. It's about choosing to be someone worth pursuing, again and again. Make mystery part of your rhythm. Schedule surprise dates. Plan playful moments. Pay attention to what brings a spark to your partner's eyes, and do more of that. Keep refining and reinventing your connection the way artists refine their masterpiece, not out of duty, but out of passion. Because the truth is this, your partner didn't fall in love with predictability. They fell in love with your soul, your layers, your complexity, your surprises. When you choose to keep the mystery alive, you're not just preserving the spark, you're making sure it never dies.